I have a simple favor to ask of you. Watch and share this video. A Simple Favor is the latest mystery thriller that is based off a novel of the same name. I don't know what it is with movies like this, Gone Girl, Girl on the Train, but even if you don't know it's a novel, you can definitely tell just by the way the movie is portraying the story. Which isn't a bad thing, I just for some reason thought I'd open with that. It stars Anna Kendrick as this obsessive PTA mom vlogger, which let me just start with her. She kills it in this role. She nails the part of this overexcited mom trying to get her kid to sign up for every little activity at school. The parents cannot stand her because she's so over the top with every little thing. It's just overall an amazing performance. Then you have Blake Lively, who plays this crazy psychotic person, and she also just nails this role. To top that, this movie also co-stars Henry Golding, who's having just a killer month, having this movie come right after Crazy Rich Asians. So from those three cast members alone, this movie is really solid. It follows the plot after Anna Kendrick's character and Blake Lively's character become friends, as their kids are both friends at their school, and they come from two completely different worlds. Anna's character Stephanie is this suburban mom to a T, and Blake's character Emily is this mom who works in the city, doesn't even really want to be a mom, living this high-end lifestyle. And so when their two worlds collide and they become really close friends, they realize they have a lot of differences between them. The simple favor comes in when Emily asks Stephanie to pick up her son from school and just watch him for the afternoon. But then all of a sudden she goes missing. Henry Golding's character is off away in London, I believe, and when he comes back to the States, he realizes that his wife's been gone for 3 days now. So him and Emily go to the police, and in the meantime, Emily's also trying to solve the case on her own through her mom vlog. From there, it gets pretty crazy. So I already mentioned that the acting in this movie is really incredible, and they all do a great job within their roles. The problem I think this movie has is a couple things. The first is the tone that's trying to present. The first act is essentially the plot that I just described to you. It introduces these characters into this world, and there's a lot of dark humor in this movie. It's weird though, because when they present a joke, I'm thinking in my head like, oh, that's supposed to be a funny joke, but you don't really laugh, the audience doesn't really laugh, but the movie feels like it's trying to be a light, dark comedy in a way. And by the time that the second act hits, it's full-on thriller mystery. This movie goes to some dark places, and the mystery that's unsolved, it's no comedy at all. And I think that's when the movie was at its peak, was midway through the second act, when you are learning all these things about these characters and you're finding out what actually happened to Emily. And it's just a great thriller. But then the third act hits, and avoiding any spoilers, there are just a couple too many twists for me. The third act, in a way, takes everything that was good about the second act and just shoves it in your face. There are multiple plot twists, to the point where this movie could have ended 3 plot twists ago, but we're still going with it. And the ending just isn't as satisfying as I'd like it to be. But then the tone reverts back to this comedic style. For example, there's one character who has a shining moment, but to make it even more big, they do this thing, and it accomplishes this thing to kind of end some suspense, and then they say this one-liner, the type of one-liner that you would expect a superhero to make, like in a Marvel movie, but it's totally out of place because this isn't a fun little superhero flick. This is a mystery thriller, and you were not expecting any character to have a one-liner. Not even to mention, the character who has a one-liner isn't even a big part of the movie, and it doesn't even make sense for that character to say something like this. I just think if they were going for this kind of thriller mystery comedy, it could have worked, but you had to be consistent throughout the whole plot. It honestly felt like there was a director for the first and third act, and the second one was someone completely different. The other issue I had with this movie specifically, and this maybe is just an issue for me because I've seen a lot of movies like this, but it just felt way too predictable to me. There are a couple key foreshadowing lines that take place even within the first 10 minutes of this movie. And now perhaps for your average moviegoer, you might watch that and not even notice it, but it really follows a lot of cliches that movies like this do. The second I heard some of these lines trying to foreshadow the ending, it just felt really obvious. I knew right away. I was like, they are giving away the ending. The ending is going to have something to do with that line. And sure enough, the whole movie I was waiting for that to happen, and it did. And maybe that's what the directors were trying to do, was to give away the ending, but I think it would have been way more effective if we would have been fully surprised. Not every movie can successfully foreshadow the ending, especially in the beginning of the movie. And I don't think every movie should try to do that. I think this movie is going to be way more successful for people who haven't seen other movies in this genre. The last complaint I had about this movie were just some storylines that didn't really get wrapped up and didn't even really need to be in the movie. And I think this goes back to the issue of it being so adapted from the book, where I'm watching the plot of this character and it doesn't really feel like it fits in the movie, but I can tell, I'm like, that was probably a major plot in the book. And I think they just feel like they need to put it in because people won't be happy if they read the book, watch the movie, and it's different. But they just kind of gloss over these storylines that I think they shouldn't even put in. For example, there's one character, and again, being as vague as possible, who has this relationship with another character that's not even in the movie, but you just hear this person over and over. We'll call them a co-worker. And they keep talking about this co-worker as if it's gonna be a major plot in the story, and it never really is. And so therefore, I haven't read the book, but I'm assuming this has a much more bigger plot in the book, and they just didn't want to take it out of the movie, which I kind of wish they would have. I think they needed to wrap up a lot more of the storylines, and it's not like they didn't wrap them up as if they're gonna make a sequel to this movie, because I really don't think they can. Just give a little more explanation if you're gonna drop in these storylines if they don't go anywhere. But outside of those few complaints, this really was a good movie to watch. It was entertaining, and if you like a good mystery thriller, this is definitely right up your alley. You could probably wait till it comes on DVD. There isn't anything really specifically for theaters, but it's a good watch. And even though it was predictable in some areas for me, there was a lot of places it went that I did not expect it would go. And like I said, I cannot emphasize enough how great the acting was in this movie. I just want to see Anna Kendrick play a mom vlogger in every single film she's in. So that's a simple favor. Did you like it? Did you not like it? Let me know what you think. Comment below, like, subscribe, share, ring that bell, and I will see you next time.